All right. Okay. We're on 10-7. Yesterday we did 10-6, and then the day before that we did 10-1 and 10-2. So we've just skipped a couple other ones. All right. We're talking about areas of circles and sectors and segments today. So a couple words that we have not heard necessarily before. First thing, we're going to do a quick repeat of vocabulary. So circles, you good back there? I got some chargers over here. I got one on the back. I got one right here. You can sit right up in the front next to me. Okay, what a good friend. For the second day in a row, sorry you guys on YouTube, this is another 2-minute intermission. Yesterday I couldn't get started right away either, so maybe I need to look around before I start recording so that you guys don't have to skip ahead 2 minutes for all this wasted time. So I'm ready to go now. A circle is a set of all points that is equidistant from a given point called the center. So when you draw a circle, we're essentially starting at one point. I like to do a little bit of notability magic right here. And I'm going to draw, I got this center, and I'm going to draw a circle around it. And if I draw it nicely, I should be able to draw this line, and it's the same distance anywhere around on the circle. All of those points are the same distance. That distance is called my radius. Now, my diameter is another word that we talked about yesterday. It's a segment that goes through the center of your circle, P, and then has 2 endpoints on either side. It's a straight line, so it doesn't bend or do anything crazy. It goes straight through. And I said yesterday, it goes through the widest part of the center. Congruent circles have congruent radii, and then the central angle is an angle whose vertex is the center of the circle. So I've got my central angle is right here, and I think that's the most new piece of information, so I like to point it out. P is the center of my circle, and then AP is a radius, and PC is another radius. So my central angle comes between 2 radiuses that meet at the center. Everything else I think you've seen before. Any questions, any thoughts? Okay, the next thing we're going to talk about is a chord. A chord is any line that goes through a circle that has endpoints on the circle. So I like to draw like a very obvious chord like this, where I just have 2 points on the circle and a line that connects them. That counts as a chord. A chord could also be really tiny. It could be like from here to here. It almost looks like a straight line, but it has 2 endpoints that are on the circle and all the other points are inside. Or it could be really big, where I go like, this is all a chord. So wherever I decide to stop this line, these are all chords. Again, it can be super tiny. It can be much, much bigger. This is a pretty big example. Those are all chords. All right, I'm going to need some help because we're going to identify some things. So I've got a shape right here. I've got a circle. I'll do the first one because I don't know if we've talked about naming the circle before. When you name a circle, you have to do a circle, which is like an O with a dot in it. That dot helps me know that it's not 0, it's not O, it's not anything crazy. It means circle. And then I use the center point, which is P. So this is circle P. All right, now I want to name a central angle. Can someone name a central angle for me? Billy? What'd you say? BPC, good. BPC is like this angle right here. BPC, this part right there. Angle BPC. All right, Billy named a central angle, perfect. Now I need to name all of the radii. Who can name one radius for me? Emma? AP works. Who can name another radius for me? Come on, guys, you got this. BP or CP, what'd you say? CP? And then I gave you the last one, PB. Ooh, that is terrible handwriting. Let me try that again. So AP, CP, PB, BP, whatever. All of the things that have a point P on that segment. Now I need to name all the chords. What's one obvious chord? What'd you say? DE. Thank you, Kate. I'm going to argue there's one other chord on here. Emma? AB also works as a chord. It has 2 points on either side and it goes through the circle. Now I have to name the diameter. What's my diameter? Cooper? Is it what? The radius goes only halfway through the circle from AB. Very good. The diameter goes all the way through the circle. It goes through the center and it has points that are on the outside of the circle. So AB is both a chord and a diameter. So notice that we can label it as a chord and we can label it as a diameter. A chord is just like a special type of diameters. It's like sports, right? Like if I was like, who in here plays sports, right? A bunch of us would raise our hands. But if I was like, who in here plays exclusively lacrosse? A lot of us would put our hands down because that's a specific sport. A diameter is a specific type of chord, but all of the chords, as a more general term, includes a lot more things. All right, now we're gonna do area of a circle. I previewed this a little bit in our homework. Area of a circle is pi r squared. You also all went to middle school and elementary school, or else you would not have made it here. And you knew that area of a circle was this. You maybe didn't remember it, but you've seen that before. This is not new information. You can also think of it as pi. If you only have diameter, you can write it as d divided by 2 squared. D divided by 2 squared is another way we can write our area. Especially if it's not a nice, pretty number that divides evenly, you can do like, if it's like 7 or 13, you can think of it as like 13 over 2 squared. All right, let's do these examples pretty quickly. I need one person to help me with this one. Who's got me? Find the area of this circle. Area equals pi r squared. Emma, help me out. Good. Let's go even slower. Let's do 10 squared. And then we know 10 squared is 100. So we're going to call it 100 pi meters squared. I want the units there. And I do not want you to multiply 100 times pi, which is 3.14. Please do not do that. 100 pi meters squared. All right, everyone good? Next one. Somebody new, help me with this one. Area equals pi r squared. Billy. Good. Perfect. And my units are inches squared. Very good. So area equals 25 pi inches squared. Good. Express your answer in terms of pi. All right, that's it on the front side. You guys good? Flip it over to the back or scroll down to the back. It doesn't matter what you do. This is a new piece of information, but I think you guys are fully capable of handling this. This is called sector of a circle. I like to think of sector of a circle as a piece of pizza or a piece of pie. A sector is literally a piece of pizza. I really should not be talking about pizza at this point in the day. I'm getting hungry. If you scroll over